Hello and welcome back to the Apex Motorsport. Today is a different kind of video. We have an interview with a very special guest. I'm joined with Richard, so there's nothing much else to say, but let's get into the interview. We welcome Dan Harper, who is the 2019 Porsche Carrera Cup GB champion and also the current BMW Junior team for the Nuberring Endurance Series. A massive thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us. So how are you keeping?
Yes, well, firstly, I'm glad to be here, and I know you guys have just started up, so I'm glad to hopefully help you guys and hopefully be chatting to you much more in the future as well. Yeah, I mean, life's good. Back at the Nürburgring living after obviously the whole COVID-19 situation, being sent back home to Northern Ireland for a couple of months. Although it was nice maybe to take a bit of time off racing and just sort of relax with the family and chill out a bit. It's certainly nice to be back where we are strong and back to where we work. So it's hard, obviously, being away from home at times, but whenever you're doing what you love, it makes it easier.
So Dan, at the weekend pass, you just had your first race as a BMW Junior driver. It was in the Nuberring Endurance Series. How did you feel that race went for you?
Yeah, I mean, the result wasn't what we wanted. We didn't finish the race, unfortunately, and I didn't get to turn a lap in the race myself. We had some technical issues with the car. Literally, I think 30 minutes into the race, when Max was driving, we had an issue with the ABS system in the car, which meant Max lost the brakes, and we ended up then having a crash. But thankfully, it wasn't too bad, and Max wasn't hurt, and there wasn't too much damage done to the car, but it just forced us out of the race early. So it wasn't the best start, not what we had planned and what we had wanted, but I'm sure this is just one of these things that's happened in motorsport, and I'm looking forward now to the next race next weekend.
So did it really take you long to get back into the swing of things, or how did it feel sort of getting back in?
For sure, it took a while to sort of get the feeling back, and I've never really driven at the Nürburgring before either, so you're sort of doing two things at once. You're learning a new track, you're learning a new car, and you're also trying to blow the cobwebs away after a couple of months away from racing. So it was certainly nice to be back in the racing seat and doing what I love. So for sure, now looking forward to the hard work and getting back on track next weekend, and hopefully it can go a bit better for us.
What was it like being part of the paddock during the whole COVID-19 pandemic? Was it much different than usual?
Yeah, it was a bit strange, I must say, and obviously not having met like any spectators there, or even friends and family not being there as well. It seemed a bit empty, but then at the Nürburgring, at the Nürburgring Endurance Series, there's 140 plus cars, so the paddock is still pretty full with all the lorries and race cars, but for sure it was quite tricky as well to maybe remember about the whole situation, and you have to keep your distance, and obviously a few rule changes as well. In the pit stops, there was a maximum of 2 mechanics in the car. Obviously in the driver changes, there's not much you can do really, but it's quite good that with the three of us in the junior team, we were obviously living together, so we're now sort of kind of as a household anyway. So we're able to sort of be like normal with each other and not have to keep our distance really. So but yeah, I mean the Nürburgring itself and the series done a great job of organizing everything and keeping everyone in check, and I think everybody, all the participants, all the drivers, all the mechanics in the team, they all done a very good job at sticking to the rules. And obviously it's strange for everybody, but hopefully in the long run, it'll help and get things back to normal as soon as possible.
We understand there was a sort of a one-way system put in place, that when you went under the pit building, you had your own little workstations and stuff compared to the traditional pit garage. So was that sort of difficult to get sort of used to, I suppose?
Yeah, for sure. It's strange. And although it's pretty cool, like you're middle of a race and you come to a roundabout in the back of the pits, so it was a bit strange. But obviously, then it leads to more chance of mistake as well. Instead of just coming in the normal pit lane and sticking on your pit limiter, whenever you came into the pits, the speed was automatically dropped. Instead of normally like 60 k's, it was 40. So we were then having to balance that ourselves in the throttle. And then also there's a lot less space out there than there was in the normal pit lane. So it's a bit more chaotic as well. But again, it's just a good idea, because it means there was sort of half the people out there and then half the people in the normal pit lane as well. So it did definitely help. And I mean, for sure, hopefully in a few months' time, maybe it'll be all back to the way it should be.
If we go back now to 2019, you won the Porsche Carrera Cup. What did that mean for you to win that after putting in a strong year the year before that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously to win that championship was a massive achievement, probably the biggest in my career so far. It was very tough. Obviously, the year before, jumping from BMW Junior straight into the Porsche Carrera Cup, because the cars were just such a big jump. And it took that year in 2018 to just get the grips with the car, and obviously having so much more grip available, and just a different type of racing as well. So that year really helped me learn everything and get in the right place really to go for the championship in 2019. And sticking with the same team, JTR, was obviously, I think, a good decision as well, because I had that year with them. We sort of gelled quite well, and obviously Nick Tandy, the team boss, a factory Porsche driver there, is sort of my coach and mentor. There was no better place really to be. And then everything just sort of gelled. Everything worked and everything went my way. And in some cases when it could go either way, they seemed to go my way, and it maybe was just meant to be. So for sure it was an excellent year, and it's always nice to come out champion.
Speaking of the car here, obviously we know you were racing in a Porsche 911 GT3.
Yeah.
Personally, one of my favourite cars. But how does that compare to driving in the BMW 2 Series that you're sort of racing in now?
Yeah, very, very different again. At the moment, we just are racing in the 240i BMW, which is it's a bit slower, not as much aero, but at the moment it's just we're competing in the 240i to get a permit to race in GT4 and GT3 cars at the Nürburgring. Is they do it a different way, that you have to start in sort of like a more basic sort of race car, if you like, and then you have to complete 18 laps, race laps, and then you get the permit to go and race GT4 and GT3. So that's what we're currently trying to do. But yeah, the cars are massively different. I haven't had much time really to practice in the car. I mean, now it's strange as well, obviously going from being sort of yourself and your engineer and your mechanic in Carrera Cup, and you get 2 30-minute practice sessions before you go qualifying, and now I've done 15 laps of the Nürburgring before in my life, and I get 2 laps before qualifying starts, the practice in the car. So it's very strange, and I mean the same for the three of us, I suppose, as well. So that's what's really been a big change, and what is going to take a while to get used to.
During 2019, you also got the opportunity to race at the same weekend of the British Grand Prix, the Formula 1 race.
Yeah.
You obviously stepped up to the full Porsche Supercup for that. You had some damage in your car earlier on in the race. What was it like to race at Silverstone on the same weekend as the Formula 1?
Yeah, it was, I'd say, one of the biggest highlights, if not the biggest highlights of my career so far. Just obviously at the British Touring Car weekends, when like a normal weekend in Carrera Cup GB, there's maybe 40,000 people there, and even then it looks full. But then whenever you go to the Formula 1, and God knows how many there is there, it's just incredible. And obviously then you're sharing the paddock with Lewis and Sebastian Vettel, all those big guys, and it was sort of a dream come true, really, to race there that weekend. And it was a shame, obviously, with the damage in the car at the start of the race, but I was still fairly happy to finish in the top 10 on my debut there. It was for sure one of the highlights.
So here's a sort of a iffy question, but am I right in saying that your prize winning of the Porsche Carrera Cup, you got a 922 Carrera and a watch?
I did, yes. I was very, very lucky.
Very nice.
So for the deal, well, the prize for winning is a 992 Carrera, 992 Carrera for 1 year, and they change it every 6 months, just to get obviously the mileage. They then at the end of the 6 months, as long as you haven't done any damage, they go on to sell it as sort of a used car, or I think they maybe use it for like photos and sort of that sort of side of things, for PR purposes. But yeah, it was a very nice gift and a nice upgrade from my Ford Fiesta.
Oh, we're gonna start somewhere, I suppose.
The season after the Porsche Carrera Cup, I thought you were going to make a step up into the full Porsche Supercup, because I was at Silverstone in a senior race and I thought you were fantastic. You obviously decided not that you had, I believe, a scholarship shootout that you could have went into. You decided to go and join the BMW Junior team instead. That means you're based in Germany. What's life like over there for you?
Yeah, so I think my my plan after winning the championship and Carrera Cup was to make the step up to Super Cup, and we had some talks with Super Cup teams, and obviously had been put forward from Porsche GB to go forward to the international shootout, for the Porsche Junior for Super Cup. But obviously there was a shootout for that, and it wasn't sort of a guaranteed thing. Although I think I would have had a good chance at it. That still, if it just had an off day, or somebody like the guy that won in the end, Guven, he finished second in Super Cup last year, so he was definitely probably the favourite for that shootout, and he ended up winning. And yeah, whenever I got the offer from BMW, they rang me when I was at my part-time job at home, and whenever they sort of asked me to come to Munich for a meeting, and then went there obviously without any hesitation. And then whenever they told me what the offer was and what their plans were for the future and everything, it was a no-brainer really to agree to it and sign up. And yeah, I mean, I haven't regretted the decision yet, and I don't think I will. So, and life here in Germany is good. The weather is quite nice, but at the same time, at the Nürburgring, it changes quite quick. But I mean, so far it's been an awesome experience, and obviously before I'd always lived at home not by myself, but with my family. And now to be away from that and living with my teammates and having to do my washing and my cooking myself, it's all quite strange, but for sure, just looking forward to see where it goes.
Yeah, so once the Nürburgring Endurance Series is over, looking ahead to the future, have you got any plans going forward or any opportunities that could arise from it?
Yeah, I mean, it all obviously depends how I perform and how it all goes. And obviously with COVID-19, a lot of, I'm sure you have seen, a lot of manufacturers and teams are all sort of having issues with money and different sort of things that have caused some top drivers losing their drives after next year. So I think there's going to be a big change in motorsport the next sort of couple of years. But uh, hopefully that if this goes well with the 2 years in the junior team, that there'll be a factory offer at the end of it for the three of us. And yeah, I mean, at the moment I'm happy where I am, and just I'm happy to race any car anywhere in the world. So you just have to tell me where to go and I'll be there. So hopefully, yeah, looking forward to the future with BMW.
If you like racing like almost every other weekend, do you get much of a chance to watch any more sports outside of your racing?
Yeah, so we have some time off between races in the Nürburgring series now, especially we have at least sort of 1 week between each race, and obviously we all love motorsport, any type of motorsport, whether it be MotoGP or F1 or rallycross, whatever it is, it's all good to watch. And now obviously with motorsport being away for 3 months, whatever it was, we're just looking forward to watching anything. And yeah, I mean F1 starting this weekend, and I can't remember, there's something else I think starting up this weekend as well. But for sure, I'm looking forward to watching that again, and for sure that's what we'll be doing in our spare time.
So being from Northern Ireland, it's not exactly one of the biggest places going.
Yeah.
But how hard is it to sort of get into a larger racing series, or where do you even start?
It's so hard. I mean, I started racing whenever I was 6 years old, just on quad bikes, and well, it really started whenever I was 4. I just got from something, I got a little quad bike and started just basically racing around the field, and not too serious. And then just the more I done it, the more and more serious we took it. And then my dad then took me to like a local just quad race, I mean junior quad racing, and decided why not go. And from there it's just sort of took off. And I then, after doing the quadding, I then from Nuts Corner they have like an arriving, or like a thing they call it Go Nuts, and it's basically you can go up and you get a few laps in a race car, and if you like it, then they try and get some money out of your dad's wallet and bring you along to the and I loved it. And then that's whenever I started racing karts. And there was a stage where I was just sort of doing a bit of quadding and a bit of karting, not fully committing to one. And then we decided that the quads weren't really leading anywhere, and there was a possibility with the karting, so I committed to karting. And then that's whenever I won the Northern Irish Karting Championship, the Irish Karting Championship, and then in 2015 went to Le Mans to do the World Kart Finals, and finishing 7th, I think it was, in the final there. That was then when I got the offer to go and race in Ginettas. Well, I got the offer to go do the scholarship, and then I ended up winning the Ginetta scholarship, and that gave me sort of my introduction into car racing. And then I was a free year basically in BMW Juniors, and then I managed to build up the sponsorship then during that year to have a second go at it. And then finishing third there, then sort of got Porsche interested, and I went and done the Porsche Junior shootout and ended up winning that as well. So it was those sort of 4 years between Ginetta Racing and Porsche was really the make and break part of my racing so far. And if I didn't win either of those scholarships or shootouts, then I wouldn't have been racing. So I mean, I guess it's just sort of all came together, and we've done our best, and it's got me here. So we'll just keep at it.
One final question for you, Dan. Being from Northern Ireland, there's quite a few celebrity icons. If you could have one lap on any circuit in the world in any car, what would they be? And who would you have in the passenger seat out of Liam Beckett, Mary Peters, Frank Mitchell, and Barra Best?
Go on. So I'm driving, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, you can not drive if you want, but
No, I'll drive. I've been passenger. I think I'd drive Spa because I've never drove Spa before, and everyone that has drove it just says it's awesome. And even on the sim, obviously a Rouge, everyone just loves a Rouge. So I think I'd go to Spa. A road car.
it can be any
Anything.
car.
Any
As
car.
long as you have two seats. Well, you can put a seat in.
I could pull the seat in, all right. I think car would be. I'm gonna go with a GTE car. So I'll go with the BMW M8 GTE. And I'll say Mary Peters because last year, I got awarded from her the Belfast Telegraph Young Player of the Year award, and it's an award that she's sort of give to people that she recognises every year. And last year I was lucky enough to be awarded that from her. So I'll say Mary Peters.
Fair play. So thanks for joining us, Daniel. We hope the rest of your season goes well for you, and best of luck in the future.
Yes, well, thank you very much, and I'm happy to have another chat with you anytime. So, and best of luck with what you guys are doing as well.
Cheers,
Yeah.
thanks.
All right, see you later.
No bar.
Thanks, Dan.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all again for watching. Make sure you check out our social media accounts, which will be in the description below. Also, why not check out our website, theapexmotorsport.com, where you can find articles on all motorsport related news. If you're interested in any more videos, why not click on one of the videos that are on screen now.